welcome to this week's episode of The Real Politik. The Election Commission has sounded the poll bugle for elections to choose the 16th Lok Sabha as political parties gear up for the biggest poll battle in a long time. They have unleashed a race for alliances because all sides know that it is the number game where alliances will play a very key role. So, will the BJP be able to rejuvenate the NDA, or will the Congress add parties to the UPA? Will it be the third front convened by the left parties which will have the advantage, or will the Mamata Banerjee planned federal front pivot to the post? Equations that will be worked and reworked till result day on May 16th and after. As the Election Commission announced the poll bugle, activity has begun. While parties like the Trinamool Congress announced candidates, other parties hit the poll campaign as political showdowns turned ugly. But the real test of the elections for 2014 will be the alliance versus alliance contest, the left coordinated third front, or the BJP trying to rope in Paswan, who parted ways in aftermath of 2002. The question is about positioning. Will Modi be able to get alliance partners, or will a third front and an alternate federal front be a reality? The question that we are asking today is the election of 2014 a show of strength for national parties, or is it a race for alliance versus alliance? Joining us this evening is Ravi Shankar Prasad, Deputy Leader of Opposition of the BJP in the Rajya Sabha. And joining him on the other side is Sitaram Yechuri, Politburo member of the CPIM and Member of Parliament Rajya Sabha. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, you seem to be extremely bullish after having got Ram Vilas Paswan. Now that's just for appearances, it's just a psychological boost that you've got, that an ally who left you in 2002 actually has come back. But in real terms, it doesn't add to much as far as the entire log sheet of alliance partners and numbers are concerned.
Well, Navika, as far as the coming election is concerned, there is an overpowering urge in the people of India for a change as to the manner in which India has been governed by Manmohan Singh, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. They are going for a clear alternative, which is the BJP, whose PM's candidate is Mr. Narendra Modi. Obviously, the formation is NDA. The Congress is like a sinking ship to most of its current ally. You see it is coming day by day. In this light, Udit Raj joining in UP, Athawale in Maharashtra, Ram Vilas Paswan in Bihar, Mr. Janaran Nishad, others. These well-known Dalit leaders, apart from others who are trying to come, is an indication that the promise for a government in future is with the Narendra Modi-led BJP. The NDA kitty is going to grow stronger and stronger.
But you will agree that ones and twos is not what you're looking for. You're looking for larger chunks. You're looking for chunks like Mayawati's or Mamata Banerjee's and Jayalalitha's. That's not happening.
Let me just explain to you. On our own, we are striving for a 272 plus BJP. The indications are we are going to clearly cross 220 on our own. Plus there is Shiv Sena, plus there is Akali Dal, plus the Haryana Janhit Party. Now Mr. Ram Vilas Paswan Party, the other parties. Therefore, as the incremental trend of the election goes, the BJP will be very well poised for reaching the mark of 272 along with its current allies itself. There is a third front or a federal front or a failed front. I don't know. Therefore, this is how the whole indications are.
Mr. Sitaram Yechuri, you are trying to get together a motley crowd in the third front. 11 parties is what you have claimed in your meeting of 25th of February. Already there are noises that your relationship with Jayalalitha is not working out. It's not working out in Tamil Nadu. How do you plan to have a patchwork of such political parties? The BJT, which was supposed to join you, is not joining you. Jayalalitha is not firmly on board. How will a group of such parties actually work in the run-up to 2014?
As far as we are concerned, we've said very clearly that any front that is going to emerge will only be a post-electoral front. And that is been the history of Indian parliamentary democracy. Every time you had a non-Congress coalition government or even a Congress-led coalition government, the fronts that eventually formed the governments were the fronts that evolved post-elections. Whether it be the Janata Party in 1977, whether it be the arrangement that made Mr. V.P. Singh the Prime Minister, or the United Front of Mr. Devegowda and I.K. Gujral, or the NDA which made Mr. Vajpayee the Prime Minister, or the UPA that made Dr. Manmohan Singh the Prime Minister. All of them were formed post-elections. So will it be in 2014.
But Mr. Yechuri, already the Biju Janata Dal of Naveen Patnaik, the Jayalalitha front from AIADMK, you are already having problems between the small group of 11 parties that you started off with. Now, given that fact, how do you think you can make a credible third front?
Listen, what is the problem? There are no problems as far as the Anna DMK is concerned or the Biju Janata Dal is concerned, that they stand opposed to both the Congress and the BJP. And that is the point that is being made, and what I've said just now. It will be a combination of non-BJP, non-Congress forces that will give an alternative policy direction to the country on the basis of a common minimum program which will evolve post-elections. Like the program of the NDA evolved post-elections, the NDA itself was formed post-elections in the final form that formed the government, and the UPA was formed post-elections, and the common minimum program came into being post-elections. That is what it will be even now.
Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, do you think the third front that Mr. Sitaram Yechuri is talking about is actually possible without any Congress support? Because any front that comes out without the Congress and the BJP will need a large chunk to support them from outside. So, do you think the third front of 11 parties that Sitaram Yechuri is talking about can actually exist without Congress support from the outside?
Well, Navika, always remember, third front is history. It has no relevance for the present, no promise for the future. India of 2014 is not the India of 1996 or 1990. The politics has changed. But just to correct my good friend Mr. Yechuri, only in 1990 when VP Singh was separated by BJP and left, rest all formations of third front had the Congress bulk support. In the case of Mr. Chandrasekhar, in the case of Mr. Devegowda, in case of Mr. Inder Gujral, and the left was a part of the UPA 1. And as far as I understand, they did not leave on the issue of governance or the issue of price rise. They left them on the issue of nuclear deal. And as far as Mulayam Singh Yadav and the Mayavatis all are concerned, all have been the part of the same front with Congress as the lead. Therefore, my charge is that the so-called left front, which comes like a ritual before every election and disappears after election results, maybe or after 1 year, is nothing but a propped up by Congress party. Is the politics of 2014 for the same purpose? Or the young India, the aspirational India, the real India is seeking a different direction of stability, growth, good governance record? That is the basic. And therefore I say this failed idea of the past is not going to kick in again.
Mr. Sitaram Yechuri, Ravi Shankar Prasad says that if you have to willy-nilly take support of the Congress from the outside, then how can you actually call it a non-Congress, non-BJP front? You will need the support of one large entity, one large national party. Now, if you have to go back to the Congress, then how is it different from your experience of UPA 1?
Well, you see, there are various assumptions that both of you are making and proceeding to demolish those assumptions which are not what I am talking about. First of all, this concept of what you call the third front. Who has spoken about a third front? I am talking about a front that will evolve post-elections. And you talk about the third front, my friend Ravi Shankar talks about the third front and goes on to demolish, saying it's a dead idea. Nobody is talking about the third front as far as we are concerned. Please, you're welcome to build your castles in the air and go around demolishing them. I am talking of the young India's aspirations. What do they want? They want relief from the burdens that are being imposed on them today by this trajectory of economic policies that the country is following. And as far as economic policies are concerned, between the BJP and the Congress, there is absolutely no difference. We have seen it even in the just concluded Lok Sabha, the 15th Lok Sabha. On every single matter of economic policy, the BJP and the Congress went together. There was virtually a match fixing between the two. On the issue of corruption, there is no difference virtually between the BJP and the Congress. So therefore, what the young India wants is an alternative, which neither the BJP nor the Congress can give.
On 25th of February, you made that attempt to get 11 parties on a single platform. Now, you're saying that there is nothing called a pre-poll alliance, everything will be post-poll. The fact is that you are trying to get a motley group of parties together. It's not working out as you would have. That's why you're saying leave it to post-poll calculations.
There was no question of any front that was announced there. There was no question of any patch-up like you're talking that was announced there. What was said was a declaration of a direction that India needs to take, and the fact that weak parties are committed to a position of being anti-Congress, anti-BJP. Period. And as I have told you, and as repeatedly, even my good friend will know, and he knows it as much as I know, and everybody in the country knows it, including the NDA that finally was formed when Vajpayee became the Prime Minister. Remember the time when we were waiting for that famous letter from Jayalalitha to come so that Mr. Vajpayee can be sworn in as the Prime Minister, and all these formations came into existence post-election. So why are you sweating it out now? The point at issue is, what is the blueprint you have?
We are not sweating it out.
What is the blueprint you have?
Political parties that are going to have a long, hot and sweaty summer. We'll slip into a short break. But Mr. Sitaram Yechuri, when I come back, I'm going to remind you about the statements that you've made about fronts in the past. Those statements will be reminded to you right after this very short break. Welcome back. The real question, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, is the fact that is Narendra Modi going to be somebody who can actually attract alliances? You may have got back Paswan, but that's not saying much. Can you actually get somebody like Jayalalitha, like Mamta Banerjee? Mamta Banerjee has done business with the NDA in the past, but she completely refuses to have anything to do with you now. Do you think somebody like Jayalalitha or Mamta Banerjee is somebody that you can do business with? Because without that, you don't have a large chunk for the last mile to reach 272 plus.
First of all, let me make a very simple response to Sita's comments, Navika. Should I presume that they have thrown the towel quite early? For the last so many months, we were hearing about the third front. You said about elusive, non-existent. It is really elusive. There is an official confirmation. Good luck to them. Therefore, we take it that there is no third front. As of now, though some kind of MOU is thought to be executed upon a platform, trying to again use the failed card of secular communal divide. You talked of allies coming. After all, it is going to be with elections. What was the initial articulation by many of you? That Narendra Modi will not be able to get any ally, BJP will not be able to do any commendable performance. Surely, elections are far away, people will vote. But today, it is a fact that Narendra Modi has been able to ignite a new hope, inspiration in the entire country, not only for the cadre and supporters of BJP, but a large segment of the people of India, particularly young India. Now, coming to the extra mile, that would depend upon how we perform, as I told you, which we expect to do very, very well. But Navika, as a very experienced and seasoned political journalist, you will know that there are two cards in India: anti-Congress, pro-Congress, communal, secular, plus regional players having a serious hostile relationship with the local state Congress, anti-Congress mood in their states. All these are factors to be taken into account. I am sure when the results are out, we will have to work it out. But as far as we are concerned, as of today, the NDA, current NDA led by BJP, in all indications will come to the near 272 marks.
Well, you're having problems in Maharashtra with the Shiv Sena. One of your senior leaders, Nitin Gadkari, went and actually flirted with the MNS and Raj Thackeray, and that has the Shiv Sena up in arms. So even your traditional NDA is having its own internal problems because there are different kind of leaders saying different things. Sushma Swaraj has gone out and said no truck with somebody like the Reddy brothers, which your party is trying to do. Yediyurappa, you got back Yediyurappa into your party. So any alliances for forming that 272 plus, or are you going to go through with your current alliance partners like the Shiv Sena and objections of Sushma Swaraj? Are they all going to be buried, just because you want numbers on your side?
First of all, no one has said we are going to do business with Reddy brothers. Who has said that? Sushma ji has clarified that position. As far as Shiv Sena is concerned, meeting is nothing unusual. But Shiv Sena is our...
Are you denying that Sri Ramulu is somebody who you want to get on board?
What I have to say, I have told you very clearly. But what I am telling you, that as far as Shiv Sena is concerned, Shiv Sena is our old ally for the last nearly 40 years, 30 years. We respect them. But in BJP, we don't practice the politics of untouchability, as the left does, or the others do, or those in the third front or the elusive front do. We meet, we share a cup of tea, but our commitment to our allies remains quite stable. Very clear. That is the kind of politics we preach. The untouchability which is there against Narendra Modi or against one who comes to Narendra Modi is sought to be rejected by the people of India. And they will reject. With this politics of convenient untouchability, it's now a thing of the past, because India is changing and Indians are changing.
Mr. Sitaram Yechuri, let me remind you of a statement that you made way back in 2009, where you said that the credibility of a third front is something that people have not accepted. You also said that the third front or an alliance like that cannot be a cut and paste job on the eve of elections. So are you saying this cut and paste job will happen post-elections? Today, Mamata Banerjee, your baiter in West Bengal, has said that she will support Jayalalitha as Prime Minister. Now, isn't she trying to take away, a very valuable partner from within the third front or the 11 parties front that you're trying to resurrect on the eve of the elections?
Yeah.
On the other hand, it also shows that the regional parties can get into some different kind of groupings.
Yeah. Now, let me first of all also clarify on something that my friend Ravi Shankar said. You see, the question of throwing in the towel before the elections, etc., we've heard this too often in the past. You're welcome to build and construct your house of cards and then watch it getting demolished. You did that once in 1996. Vajpayee collapsed in 13 days. You did that again after those in 1998, collapsed in 13 months. And then finally, it did for the letter that Jayalalitha's thing waited. So always you keep thinking that this is an illusion and nothing is going to happen post-elections, and you paid the price for it twice. Learn from that history. That is all that I can tell them. Now, as far as the statement that you have quoted of mine, do you remember when I said that, Navika? It was post-election. So please remember exactly, go back to what I said on this show a few minutes ago. What I am saying is, post-election is when things will materialize. They have always done in Indian electoral history. So do not,
so
therefore, when I have told you, what do you mean cut and paste job? Are you trying to make a joke out of this?
That's the statement you made.
I'm sorry. There's been, except for Mrs. Indira Gandhi in 1971, there has not been a single government in India which had a majority of those who voted in the election. And you mean to say you were not insulted? People of India, more people have voted against those who formed the government than those who voted for. Would that be a cut and paste job? I am saying that what we believe that India requires is a non-Congress, non-BJP alternative. Mr. Ravi Shankar may believe that what India requires is a BJP alternative. The question of untouchability. Why do we say untouchability? Yes, 2002 Gujarat is untouchable in a secular democratic India. You are most welcome if you want to go and support it. Do it. But as far as I am concerned, I will continue to treat it as untouchable. That is not something that goes with the grain of what is the idea of India and a secular democratic India. And I do not want that repeated. So I will use whatever strength I have to mobilize the forces, and therefore that is what I am doing. All that I am saying is that after the 2009 elections, the verdict that people gave. On that basis, we made an assessment from where you have quoted what I have said. That is correct. In that elections, that is what the people said about this alternative that we had then projected. And then
But you think there is going to be a fresh chance for you in 2014?
Definitely there will be, and that is what our appeal to the people is.
So we have a UPA which is declining. We have the left trying to convene a third front by whatever name they may call it. We have the BJP which is trying to bolster up the NDA and its partners, getting ones and twos, but looking for the big numbers. The elections of 2014 is going to be very interesting, but it's really after 16th of May that we'll know which are the combinations and permutations that are going to be possible. That's all we have for you this weekend on The Real Politik. Much more politics on The Real Politik next week.